Well, we got just a few more songs for you here. Let's tune this just a tad. This is a song I wrote for my dad. He didn't really get to hear it, but my dad played guitars. He's my first singing partner. He used to get out his electric guitar and his amp, plug it in, get out the songbooks, fan them out on the bed. The John Denver, the Jim Croce, Paul Simon, country greatest hits. And we get the neighborhood kids, and we'd all sit on the big bed with my dad and sing songs. We'd sing Puff the Magic Dragon and Leaving on a Jet Plane, Take Me Home, Country Roads. Just my first singing partner. And he called me with the news of his cancer. And my dad and I at that point had been operating at arm's length for a number of years. By email and phone, mainly. And when he called me with this news, and I said, "It's the cancer, isn't it?" And he said, "Yeah." And then but without even taking a breath, he goes, "But I've had a good life." And I was like, "Well, you're not that old, and what are you talking about? And when did you have that good life?" Because I was there for most of it. And I saw what happened. And really? That's how you're going to sum it up? Like, I was just so surprised that he would say that. And also, just like what happened to the 5 steps of reconciling with this traumatic diagnosis, you know, I mean, the cancer was everywhere by the time they figured out what was wrong with him. There was no saving him. He didn't even bother to ask how long he had. So I said, "Well, Dad, how long do you feel like you have?" And he goes, 6 months. And I was like, okay. So I made plans to go see him like about a month later, a little over a month later. But my dad really only had 29 days. He had no idea. There's a bit of grace to it. It was esophageal cancer, and it's very painful. So, but this whole business about the good life was very confusing to me. In our last conversation, of course, we didn't know it was our last conversation. My dad was talking about a piece of fruit, and this was so different from all the other conversations we had before, where he would be telling me about his dreams and the things that he wanted to do. You know, he wanted to have a big old house on a hill, or he wanted to raise chickens, or he wanted to have a goat, or he wanted to get a big old yellow dog. You know, he had all these plans, like, and not even like serious, like hard to get bucket list plans, but like stuff that you could do, like, pretty easily. Most of it, maybe not the buying the house part, but you could get a dog and some chickens happening inside of a month. You know, you can do that. And but he just didn't. And so that last phone call, nothing about dreams, nothing about any of these plans that he was making. He was just talking about this fruit and how delicious it was, and how juicy it was, and the golden color of the flesh, and the red around the pit, you know, and the tenderness of the skin. And I've never heard a man happier with anything than my dad with his peach. And it's fitting. His name was James, after all. I mean, it seems good that he should go out with a peach. And so, you know, I'm doing this song, then I'm doing this song project, and the prompt comes up, satisfied, and I think of my dad, and I think of him, you know, telling me all about this peach and how beautiful it was, but then I also think back to the diagnosis and him saying he'd had a good life, and I'm like, how do you say that after what I saw? You know, what did I miss? You know, what can I learn from your perspective here? And so I just tried to write a song from his perspective, the best I could. And I thought maybe if I told the story from the inside out, I would learn something from it. And I did. This is just called Good Life. 20 years old, just a fitful young man with a fire in my eye, liked a drink in my hand, kissed a pretty young girl, got a gold wedding band and a baby on the way that we didn't quite plan. Headed out west and I ran a little hot, and the drink in my hand, well, it didn't cool me off. It was right about the time my kid was 16. I was scaring everybody, got so bitter and mean and old. But I used to dream of a little rowing boat. It'd be me and the dog, and we'd fish and we'd float and we'd live in a one-level ranch with toads round the pond and doves in the branches. And oh, what a good life. Sick of my scheming and costly mistakes. I was losing my business, I was burning up the brakes. I got sober as a mountain and my river turned cool. I make it up to you, mama, but you're leaving this fool alone. I used to dream we'd be getting up at dawn. We'd have chickens in the pen and some goats on the lawn and big trees, worms in the pail and my heart on my sleeve. Yeah, my love wouldn't fail. In my good life, in my good life, no. Well, I'm 65 now, and they tell me I'm sick. There's pain in my belly, it is the reckoning stick. So call him my daughter and we cry ourselves clear. It's forgiveness and grace, and I wish you were here, you know, yeah. Last time we talked, I was coming undone about a sweet summer peach that tastes just like the sun, with the juice from that fruit dripping all down my face. There is only this moment, only this place, and the dream of a little rowing boat. It'd be me and the dog, and we'd fish and we'd float and we'd live in a one-level ranch with toads round the pond and doves in the branches. And oh, what a good life, what a good life, what a good life. Let it all go now and wipe it all clean. Ain't no time for regret in the great in between. It was a hell of a